The World, Episode 2, Outlaw, Chapter 3. Thunder? His eyes shook as Sunghwa repeated the name back to him. As the door began to shake again, the boy's brother sprang up as if by reflex and unlocked the door. Outside stood a group of students in neat uniforms. One of their chests was a symbol inscribed with the word Thunder. Why are all three of you gathered here, with the door locked at that? From the crowd of students came a girl's clear voice. The group parted to each side as a female student walked forward. Is this the student group the younger brother had mentioned? She must be their leader, Yesung thought as he recalled the frightened boy from the day before. The female student, who did in fact appear to be in charge of the group, stood in front of Yesung, Sunghwa, and the boy's brother. The female student, who looked as though she were the personification of cold, stared at Yesung with a fierce gaze. You don't look familiar. Yesung handed over the ID card he had prepared in advance. When a male student nodded, confirming his name was on the student list, the female student then turned to Sunghwa. For a while now, Sunghwa had been staring at the girl with a look of disbelief. In other words, with a face revealing clear emotion. Panicked, Yesung moved to block the girl's view. I think the door needs repairing. I never intentionally locked it, but it wouldn't open and it took me a while to grasp the situation. The female student pushed aside Yesung's shoulder and looked at Sunghwa again, as if she no longer cared for the explanation of the situation. Sunghwa was still staring at the girl, and the boy's brother had his head down, his hands shaking. Emotions. These were clear displays of emotion. The girl slowly approached the boy's brother. He swiftly tried to hide his trembling hands behind his back, but the female student grabbed them first. The girl looked down at his very slightly trembling hands with cold eyes. More and more, the boy's brother was losing the ability to hide his emotions. His breath shuddered, and his face was frightened as if he was on the verge of bursting into tears. At that very moment, when it seemed like it was all over even before the operation had really begun, Sunghwa snatched the girl's wrist. Why are you here? In Sunghwa's question was a hint of nostalgia. The girl looked back at him with an unchanged expression. She wasn't able to understand the intent in his question. Yesung was the same. He couldn't understand what Sunghwa was thinking. However, Yesung did know that they needed to get out of this situation as soon as possible, and he quickly thought up an excuse using the logic system of World Z. It's inefficient for us to use our time without a good reason like this. Class will start soon, so would you please let us leave? At Yesung's words, the Thunder Group turned to their leader. The girl raised her free hand, signaling permission for them to go, and the group moved out of the way as Yesung took the boy's brother out into the hallways. Pulling her wrist out of Sunghwa's grasp, the girl asked, What exactly do you mean? Do you not know what kind of group Thunder is? Sunghwa snapped out of his confusion and looked at the girl. In this world, it was dangerous to harbor emotions. He touched the bracelet on his wrist, trying to calm himself down. The bracelet was engraved with the words, Be free.